Hey there, welcome back. So I was just on Audible, and if anyone don't know, they have a section where all their like Audible originals mostly, or just a select number of books, a lot of classics and books I've never heard of, they have available on Audible if you're a member, and you can just listen to them for free. You don't need to use one of your credits for it. They're just always there. I think it replaced that option where you would get a selection of like five and you used to be able to choose two. Now they're just all available all the time, and you download them when you want, add them to your library, listen to them, return them. So, fun thing, I use it to listen to a couple classics. I assume public domain means it's easy for them to get the license for. Yeah, and I'm just scrolling, I look in the thriller section, and I come across a book, Strangers on a Train. I obviously know about Strangers on a Train because it's been brought up and I'm pretty sure like CSI and a bunch of other crime show things. I knew it was a movie. I had no idea it was a book. No idea. Turns out it was written in like 1950, and I'm like, cool, let's give this a listen. Full spoilers from here on out because honestly, you should know the premise, even though I clearly did not or I was misinformed. Um, Basically, two people meet on a train, and I'm under the impression, from what I know on pop culture, that these two people meet, they start talking, realize they each have someone in their life they wish was dead, and they agree to swap murders. Yeah, cool premise. I'm in. I'm invested. Yeah, no. This is not how it happens. Because the two people meet on a train, one person's like, hey, it seems like we both have someone in our lives that we wish was dead and would make our lives easier. How about we swap murders? Because the police will never suspect that you killed my father if I kill your wife, just because we have no motivation to do that. We don't know each other. We just met. And we can make sure the other one always has an alibi for this. And the second buddy's just like, yeah, no, that's crazy. I'm not doing that. Leave me alone. You're psychotic. So they go about their day, get off the train. Second buddy thinks that's the end of it. First buddy's just like, nah, I'm going to do it anyway. So he goes and kills the wife. And the other buddy, he's just like, dude, what'd you kill my wife for? Or my ex-wife, sorry. This is ex-wife. He wants to marry someone else. What'd you kill my ex-wife for? I did not agree to this. I'm going to turn you over to the cops. And the first buddy's just like, nah, I'll just tell them that this was always the plan. You agreed to it and you'll be in just as much trouble as me. And buddy's like, okay, fine. I'm not going to rat you out, but I'm still not killing your father. This is ridiculous. No, not happening. Sends some threatening letters to his fiance and his work. It's like, okay, well, whatever. Sure. Why not? Let me go kill your father. So he goes and does that. And now, keep in mind, the whole point of this plan from the second guy was we don't know each other. We just met on this train. We have no reason to be in each other's lives or for anyone to suspect that we had anything to do with the victims in these murders. What does the crazy buddy do? Oh, he's like, okay, let me just crash your wedding and your housewarming party and call you all the time and write letters to you and introduce myself to your now then fiance, now wife, and all your friends and coworkers. And I might mention your name to the police, or the police might catch on that we know each other. So their perfect crime, an alibi, murders, and the whole premise of this book of two strangers swapping murders and therefore having no connection with each other and no reason for the police to suspect that they were involved in the other person's murder, out the window. Because now they've involved each other in each other's lives. And there is so much obsession between these two characters. Like, they met on this train, and all of a sudden, they must be connected by destiny. They are intent on protecting each other. And while it's more extreme in the more unhinged character's mind in terms of, you're more than my brother, we're soulmates in a sense, I think he might even use at times. But even the more normal one is very much like, I feel an intense need to protect him and take care of him because we're like two different sides of the same coin. We're connected. I don't know why. At one point, they're all on a boat And full on spoilers for the ending. I'll put a time jump for this little part. So the moron hinge buddy is always drunk, and he falls off the boat, and the first buddy is, for a second, just like, well, I could let him drown and more or less my problems be solved, but nope, not doing that. Jumps over, tries to save him. Moron hinge buddy drowns, and he's just, the first buddy's like distraught. And then everyone's like, okay, well, you guys were good friends. We'll let you grieve. And the buddy's like, I gotta confess my crimes to the person I've hurt the most. So he goes to his ex-wife's was about to be new husband and is just like, I'm sorry I killed your fiance, or I led to your fiance, my ex-wife being killed. He explains the whole thing to Buddy. And you would think that the soon-to-be husband of his ex-wife would be like, I hate you, how dare you, A, you killed a random guy, and B, you got my fiance killed. Nah, he's just like, yeah, you know what, I didn't actually like her that much. Like, she was pregnant, and I'm technically still married to somebody else, so I didn't really want to marry her, so you kind of did me a favor. Like, what do I care? She wasn't that great. Which sidesteps into the next issue. Yeah, both these characters are terrible to women in general. The women in these books are not written well to begin with. More the unhinged buddy. He, like, just full-on hates them for no reason. And, of course, he's obsessed with his mother. So you have that trope. Again, this was written in, like, the 50s, so for all I know, this was, like, the originator of that kind of setting character type. Yeah, and then originally the buddy is like, well, after I confess to the then about-to-be husband, I'm going to turn myself in to the police. And then after talking to the about-to-be husband, he's just like, nah, you know what? What does it matter? I didn't hurt nobody. You were the one I supposedly hurt the most. So I guess it's fine if I don't turn myself in. What's the big deal? But of course the cops were listening in on the conversation, so he, like, assumably goes to jail. It was a weird book. The premise was interesting. I think I almost would have liked it more told from the detective's point of view, in how he's like, wait a minute, these two people were on this train, or maybe two separate detectives. One following the moron hinge buddy because of the murder of the father, and one covering the ex-husband of the wife who was killed. And eventually they keep intersecting and be like, hey, my suspect and your suspect kind of have a little bit in common. Let's just trace down, hey, they were both on this train. You don't think? No, that's crazy. That might have been a little bit more interesting. My main issue with this book was just the fact that they had the perfect murder set up. They had alibis, and there was no connection between the person who got murdered and the person who murdered them, because they swapped murders. But then they involve each other in their lives. It just didn't make sense. You kind of ruined that premise, because you could have been like, this is the perfect crime, but they screwed it up. Overall, I just gave it like 2.5 stars, just because the premise to me was ruined. The characters, I appreciated the obsession that they each had with each other. They were 100% in love with each other. Yeah, but the other characters were not well written. They were just idiots in terms of their murder plans. I did like the little twist of Buddy just kind of forced him into this plan when he killed his wife, or ex-wife, but yeah. So that's Strangers on a Train. I need to watch the Alfred Hitchcock movie, because that should be fun. And that's all I got. See ya. Bye.